know, 5 or 6 trucks now, so, and 3 of them are only driving like 2 blocks, so they get back here like really quick, and then the other 3 are, it's about a 40-minute turnaround for them. But I was loading at the other end and trying to dig back, but I didn't have enough time between each truck, and it was getting pretty soft, so now I'm kind of sitting, it's a little bit off to the side. It's a little, I mean, it almost works better for me. It's a little harder for the trucks to see and hear me, but we're gonna try this just a little bit and see how it worked. And then I got a lot better. I was getting into some dirt and stuff over there, so it just gets a little tippy off to the side. And they're about, I need to pull some of that dirt back and get them. I may try to lower myself down just a little bit more, and that'll make it a little better. It's just this stuff's kind of soft, so the machine keeps leaning to that side, but this way we can kind of use my road. That's something I don't like about it. Oh, cool. Now I got even more dump trucks. This way I can just kind of dig out. They're not backing up in front of me, so I can keep using that and kind of working my way back. So, because that other end was, we're at the property line, so it's pretty soft right there. Man, I can't get a full bucket, 'cause this bucket's halfway, got clay packed in there. I put the grading bucket on, but then some of this I'm still kind of making a cut down in the rock, so it's easier with the new teeth. So we're just, I don't know, we're just kind of making the best of it today. The plus side of it is I'm not having any, I don't have to pay for any of the trucking. A couple of these trucks are for the guys that own the dump trucks. He's got a pad he's building, so he's not charging me for the trucking. I'm getting rid of the clay, and then the other ones, the ones that are going like 2 blocks, that guy's paying for the trucking. So it's works out quite well for me, but it's just a little hectic when it's just non-stop trucks, and I don't like it when I'm not, I don't know, set up the best way or whatever, the easier way. I mean, this is gonna work. It's just I kind of got to watch the swinging, and it'll get better as this clay gets wider as I go, because we were kind of backing in here a little sideways last time. And ideally it would have been nice to finish hauling that stuff off over there, but now, like I said, these pads have come up, so everybody wants the clay, so we're kind of switching gears to load the clay up. Once we get back to there, because that junk's got more trash, and it's not suitable to build on. I mean, it works good for like filler stuff. So that's where we're at now. Like I said, we should have all this clay out of here by today. And then the thing about it is I still got all that, and what I'm sitting on, it's still got to go down like 3 feet underneath this pile. So we have a lot of clay, which for us, I know a lot of people are always surprised, but this is like our native soil here, and this is what everybody uses for paths and roads and parking lots. And so this is like ideal stuff right here, which is crazy because everybody else, you know, this stuff normally anywhere else it gets wet and then it's all slimy and pumps, where this stuff actually gets a little slick on top, but once it dries, it sets up like concrete. Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks here. I need to start. except for the fact that I feel like I'm gonna flip over. It's actually somewhat of a decent setup here. Except for that, when I misjudge how. That's the thing with this. I mean, you want these trucks and this dirt out of here as quick as you possibly can before I can really start kind of fine-tuning it and grade it out how I need to be. But it's just kind of hectic getting there sometimes. I mean, I'm sure if I had help or a bigger machine or something like that, I mean, there's always easier ways to make it, so. But we'll get it done, so I try to stay a little bit, even if I'm working in the dark, and try to get some of this stuff piled up a little bit more. I think the biggest thing is with it is the fact that I can't mix that other junk in. That this is all they want is this good, clean clay, so you gotta be a little more selective. Try to knock him down somewhat flat with the bed in case they don't want to tarp. Some of them do, some of them don't. But yeah, this will be my day right here. Luckily I brought my lunch to run out between trucks and grab it, because it's one of those days that I probably won't get out of the machine. But we should get all this clay over here hauled off, and hopefully later on by the end of the day, maybe I can get a few of these to haul this other junk off back to their plot. Well, I thought I'd do a little job update. I don't think I filmed anything yesterday, which all I did was load more trucks, which you guys pretty much, I feel like you get the point if I just keep loading trucks in time lapses, but trying to block the sun with the bucket. It's not really working. Yeah, but anyway, this is what it kind of looks like now. As easy as that is to tell, but we'll we'll get down here and swing around. We hauled 75 out yesterday, so I'm at a total of 298 loads, which we're almost to the corner, and then I got to go around. But now I've kind of got rid of the plateau that was sitting here. Now it's just kind of on a nice big gradual slope. So I'm gonna go down here with the grading bucket, strip off the trash and the grass and the mud and junk, and maybe pull it down to the bottom and try to just consolidate the clay a little bit better, because I started running out of room yesterday with these trailers and stuff right here, where I could barely scrape up enough clay to load one truck, and I had 3 trucks running, and they're just taking it like 2 or 3 blocks over. So initially 2 trucks is about right, because as soon as you get the one loaded, the other one's pulling back in. You kind of see, maybe you can count my windows, the whole thing's a little dirty, but yeah, you can tell I've got a nice, looks like I'm digging out a basement here really, but those Connex boxes are actually right on the property line. I'm about 4 or 5 feet off of them. I'm probably not going to cut it any further. I may do a little bit, and I'm hoping I didn't cut too much out here at the bottom, but I'm going to go back and kind of slope that down. It's going to be, I don't know, it's probably going to be like a 1-to-1. I'm going to try to make it as steep as possible, but still get it where I can put some of that bigger riprap on there, because I'm trying to gain them as much space as possible. So it's going to be about 13 feet tall, and hopefully, like I said, I may even do like they make like an 8 to 12 inch mix of riprap here. I'm thinking about putting the fabric and putting that, and then me and a friend of mine even discussed about doing that, and then bringing like the smaller 6-inch stuff and kind of putting over it to try to fill in some of the voids and lock everything in better. But I'm hoping I can get it just as steep as I possibly can, because they ought to gain about 65-70 feet of parking lot space when we're all said and done. And I set the laser up this morning, and right here where the trucks have been running is about 6 inches higher than what that parking lot is, and the edge of it over there is maybe 2 to 3 inches higher. But this lot also, right here by these gates, is 9.5 inches lower than what that end of the lot is. So that's why they're always holding water down here. So when I get all this cut out, I'm gonna have to cut, or take the dozer and cut around there and drain it out to that ditch and get everything to drain that way. So it's gonna take a little more cutting out and stuff, which I'm also thinking, I've dug down in some of that and I don't really get to any clay, so I'm hoping I can dig that out like a foot, come over here and take what clay I've got piled up, cut it, throw it over there, and then use the sheep's foot roller to pack that in. And then I'm going to get fabric for the whole thing. I want to get woven fabric to put for the riprap, just because it's a little bit stronger. And after talking to Top Notch, he was saying where the water would actually just kind of run down that instead of getting behind it or letting it go, you know, through it like the non-woven stuff. But I just think with that bigger rock, the woven's stronger. I'm going to try to put that on there, and then I'll probably use the non-woven stuff down here on the bottom, because I just don't want water setting on top of it, which it should all initially drain that way is the plan. But I figure this time of year, I don't always use the fabric. Most of the time you guys just see me just cutting it out and throwing the base rock right on top of the clay, which I could probably do on this edge, but there is a little bit of pumping and water back over there, so I think we got a lot of groundwater in here because this property's never drained, so it's all saturated. So my thinking is, where I can get the job done by the end of the year, we'll just cut that out and then put the fabric down. I'll do 3-inch like I normally do, and then 1-inch base on top of there. And then I got to go inside and kind of blend the two in together, which will be fun. So they're going to leave that fence up until next year when they extend this fence out. So I told the trucks last night they had something else to go work on, just to kind of give me a day to get in here and organize some of this. I just feel like I've just been kind of rushing or going through here, and it's kind of to the point now where it's slowing down on loading the trucks, because like I said, I got to try to sift through more of this junk. Where they're building that pad a couple blocks over, that's all they want, is just a good, nice clay material, and I'm getting into a lot more trash and dirt. And with being on the side of this hill, there's just no real good way to load the trucks out or whatever. I was just always constantly kind of rocking around and just sitting at a weird angle, so I'm gonna try to, like I said, just scrape all this junk off the top of here. I guess I'll scrape it down towards the bottom and then trying to notch me out of like a little shelf where I can sit on, because you can see clay sticking through the hill right here, so I know we still got more good clay, but it looks like the side of it was just whatever dirt and junk that they could find. So now we'll throw the grading bucket on and try to pull this stuff down to the bottom, and then I'll have to haul it out too, but at least I can get it down here on the flat. Just kind of get me some flatter areas to set the excavator on. Thought about, which I may still do, is try to get the dozer up here and just start pushing some of this forward or trying to notch it out that way. But I guess first thing we'll just put the grading bucket on and kind of pull it down the hill.